Hey y'all, this is your girl Money Swear, and I'm coming at y'all with another commentary on Love After Lockup's couples, and we are going to talk about Brittany and Ray. And this is episode number 44. It's a big one because Ray finally meets a small portion of Brittany's family. So last commentary we had, Ray had finally convinced Brittany to contact her parents and invite them to a meeting and let them know that Ray is in fact living with her, that he paroled to her house, and that, you know, they're living together and they're engaged and they're building a life together. Ray did not feel comfortable with the fact that her family was completely unaware of the stage of where their relationship was in. At the time, her family only thought she was dating someone in prison and they had no idea that he'd been released. So now, Brittany's made the call, and she's still kind of conniving with it. Like, she's like really slick about the information that she gives her dad. She calls her dad because her mom already made it like super clear in one of the first episodes where we met Ray that she is not into meeting him, that she is not going to be meeting him, and she's not interested in meeting him, and she doesn't want an invitation to meet him. So she says she let her know when she's ready. So instead of trying to get her mom and Ray in the same room, she gets her dad and Ray in the same room. So her dad ends up coming over. She tells her dad she has something, like some new news, and her dad comes with her older sister. And when they get out the car, Ray is in the house and he's peering out the blinds, and Brittany's like, okay, I'm gonna go get them. Before they even get there, she tells Ray exactly what to wear. She wants him to cover up the ankle monitor, wear some long pants, wear some jeans so that it can't be seen. She wants him to wear a polo shirt and look up to her standard, make the best first impression, in her opinion, through what he's wearing. So he's wearing that, he's peering out the blinds, and she goes out there to greet her family, and her dad's like, what's up? And she's just like, well, and this is where we find out, like, they didn't even know Ray was there. They didn't know they were going to be meeting him. She's like, well, I'm really happy you're here. I have a lot of stuff to tell you. Ray's in the house, and I really want you to meet him. And the dad's like, right now? And he looks at the sister like, in the house right now? And she's just like, yeah, he's in there right now. Would you please come and meet him? And like, my heart drops for a split second, because I'm just like, what if her dad's like, no, you didn't tell me, like, I'm not dressed for this, or whatever. He could have made up any excuse he wanted. He's the dad. Or the sister could have came up with some BS, like, oh, I need to pick up my kids from school, or whatever. Like, that would have been really sad if her family looked for a like out and didn't go meet Ray, and they would have been completely, legitimized in doing so, because Brittany did not tell them. But they did not. Brittany's dad is dad of the year, and he's like, yeah, I'll meet him. And he goes into the house, and Brittany and Ray sit on this couch, and the dad and the sister sit on this couch, and it's just so awkward. Like, I wish Brittany would have done, like, it's really awkward at the beginning. I wish Brittany would have did a better job of framing the discussion for them, so that Ray didn't have to like fumble around, or her dad didn't have to fumble around to like, figure out how to comfortably start the conversation. So the ankle monitor is not a distraction. It is hidden. So that's not the problem. But of course, her family's like, yo, what you got lined up? Like, do you have a job in place? Like, what's going on? And Ray kind of answers in a really generic way. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'm working on everything, trying to get it all together. I really want to get a job. I'm applying for stuff and stuff like that. Like, he just says the generic thing. Like, if I could write down what every person coming home trying to impress a parent that they've never met before, trying to impress like their significant other's parent, that would probably be what Ray said. So it was just like, for me, an unfruitful meeting, because it didn't seem like Ray was prepared, and obviously like her dad and her sister wasn't prepared, and it got to the point of like, it got a little emotional because you could tell like the dad wanted to relate to Ray on like a man-to-man level, and he's just like, this is my daughter, I want her to be taken care of, I don't want her to take on any extra stress just because I want her to be good, and I want her to be with somebody that is gonna make sure that she's set. And you got a lot of things to work on. And he said, you know, I'm not going to put you on the negative. I am going to trust you to do what you got to do until you break my trust. Dad was super transparent. He was super straightforward. He was even welcoming of Ray. Like he said, like, you know, we can be a family. We can be. He didn't say we are. He was like, we can be if you get everything in place. I will be happy to bring you into the family if you can, you know, do your part as a family man and as my daughter's future partner. So that's pretty much where things end off with Ray and Brittany. Brittany also does some premarital pressure. And, you know, a lot of women do this. Like, they want to drop hints and be like, yo, like, when you gonna get my ring? When you gonna do that? When you gonna do this? And Ray's just like, you know, how's 3 years? And he's just like, how's 1 year on like waiting to have kids and 3 years on getting married? And she's just like, yo, don't put the cart before the horse. Like, I want to be married before we have kids. And he's like, okay, well, how's 3 years? And she whittles him down to 1 year after they go back and forth. But then after she whittles him down to 1 year, she's like, and I want a big rock too. And that's the thing that's annoying. Like, if a guy said, this is how much time I need to do what I feel is appropriate in order to propose to you, and you whittle him down, of course in his head he's thinking dollar signs, like, okay, that rock that I was gonna save up $10K for, I guess we're gonna have to whittle it down to $2K. And then after you whittle him down and get his pressured yes, you want to have an expensive ring now. Like, no, that's the 3-year plan ring. Brittany, do you want the 3-year plan ring or do you want the 1-year plan ring? Like, which one do you want? So that thing kind of irritated me. And then what really irritated me that Brittany said when they went out to lunch together, because she kept like bringing up little stuff like, oh, next time you're gonna pay for lunch, I'm not gonna have to take us out on dates all the time, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that. And then she pushes him into the marriage discussion, and then she whittles him down to a shorter time frame, and then she's just like getting irritated with him. She's like, keep the same energy you had when you were locked up. And that made me cringe. Because who says that? Like, you want him to have locked up energy? You want him to have caged energy? I mean, I know, like, a lot of guys, like, and, you know, women, like, before it really gets there, before they get out, before stuff gets real, like, they can't help but, like, dream and write down, like, this is what I want to do, and this is where we're going to have our wedding, and this is the kind of dress you're gonna have. And they love to, you know, daydream about it and placate on it because that's all you have time to do. But now that he's out and everything has transitioned from fantasy to reality, he's actually using his time wisely, planning, creating timelines, saving up money, you know, looking for jobs so that he can earn money to save money, you know. And Brittany's like, oh, get back on that level that you was at when you was in, you know, when you was in the hole, when you was down. Like, that was kind of, that pushed me off when she was like, keep the same energy you had when you was locked up. If his energy changed after he's liberated, let him have his liberated energy. Let him have his freedom energy. If his freedom energy no longer wants to marry you, would you rather him be captive and pursuing you? Would you rather someone pursue you in captivity or tell you they need more time in liberation? you know, Brittany's the type to really just latch on to what she hopes someone is and like not allow them to grow into who they actually are. So that is my concern for Ray, that he is going to be locked to this idea that Brittany has of who he wrote himself out to be while he was incarcerated. And remember, he was incarcerated for a long time. He was also incarcerated as a young person. And then he was also incarcerated as a young person and then, you know, raised in the prison and spit out as an adult. So there is a lot about who he is that is in the midst of transformation through liberation. And I really hope that Brittany allows him to be that, allows him to grow into who he actually is, and doesn't lock him to who she imagined him to be based upon, you know, his letters and his JPay emails and stuff. They are in Michigan Departments of Corrections, so he has to be on parole for at least 2 years. And since he paroled to Brittany's house, the situation that they're in is going to be at least 2 years. But my understanding at first was that Brittany wanted the ankle monitor off and for him to be off paper before they got married. So that's at least 2 years. So her own timeline is in conflict with her own timeline. Okay, her own priorities are in conflict with the timeline that she's pressuring him to conform to. So hopefully Brittany knows that. What do you guys think? Should Brittany wait until Ray is off paper for them to get married, or no? Should she wait 2 years? I feel like 2 years is a good meet in the middle point for her, because he was hoping on 3 years and she really wants 1 year, and then she wants a 1 year engagement max. So if he proposes after 2 years and then there's a 1 year engagement, he can get his 3 years and actually get his life together and put his plan into action. So, you know, I'm really on Team Ray right now. Ray has not disappointed me yet, but Brittany has, specifically when she told Ray to keep his energy, keep the same energy he had when he was locked up. When she said that, I was like, oh no. But what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? Should we allow the energy to shift for people who are transitioning out of a new situation? Isn't it okay for energies to shift, to elevate, to transform? We should be hoping that, especially for people who are down, for people who are locked up, for people who are incarcerated. We want their energy to elevate beyond their circumstances. So, if you know someone who has locked up energy, tell them to elevate and let them elevate. Okay? Celebrate their elevation. Okay? Alright, y'all. So this is Amani Saware with this couple commentary, and I hope you guys enjoy it. See you on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you on the next one. Peace.